Story time with Aunt Sunny. Another story from the Solomon and the Ant collection with this particular author. These are ancient stories that have been gathered and retold, and I am enjoying all of them, particularly the ones that have and feature women, because anytime a woman has in ancient times been looked to as being clever and resourceful, that's a good thing. And this one features a woman. Now, England in the 1600s was open to trade and travel. It was a time of exploration and discovery. And there were some Jews that had become sailors and traders, sailing to Africa, America, the Caribbean, and the Far East. Whatever they did, one skill remained most important. It was the ability to read, and to read well. Now, this is a tale that tests this woman's ability to read very carefully. So here we are. The name of this story is called Give Her What You Want. Malka had been taking care of her home and her children without her husband for over a year. Her husband had been working as a trader in an English colony across the great Atlantic Ocean. He had saved his money and sent it home to Malka whenever he could. Unfortunately, there were few ships sailing back to England. The money was almost gone. The children were hungry, and Malka was feeling desperate. And it was then she heard a knock at the door. She and the children ran to answer it, and a sea captain stood outside in high black boots, wide-brimmed hat, and he said, "I've come from the colonies, and I've brought something from your husband." Malka and the children welcomed him inside, crowded around as he opened a heavy money box. They were overjoyed when they saw that it was full of golden shillings, but the captain took out only 10 and handed them to Malka. "This is it? This is all? My husband has been working for a year. He would have sent us far more than this." "Well, that's all you get," he said. "It was hard and dangerous to carry money such a long way. I have taken a share for my trouble." "How much did you take?" said Malka. "What's the difference?" said the captain, walking to the door. "I've given you what I agreed to. I'm an honest man." Malka stood in the doorway so that he couldn't leave. And she said, "If you're honest, as you say you are, then tell me what you took." The captain looked uncomfortable, but finally he said, "I took 90 shillings. "Robber!" she cried. She called the police, the neighbors, anyone else who would listen. And very quickly, this is the woman who uses her voice, very quickly, Malka, her children, and the captain were in front of the council of judges. "This woman doesn't understand business," the captain told the judges. "Her husband needed to send her money back as soon as possible. I was the only person he could trust." "So what gives you the right to take so much of it?" asked the judges. The captain answered, "It is my payment. Her husband did not want to pay so much, but finally told me that I could give her what I want, and I could keep the rest." He wrote it down in a black and white. The captain placed her husband's letter on the table, and the letter read, "The captain agrees to deliver a box with 100 shillings to my wife. He will give her what he wants, and he will keep the rest." And the letter was signed by her husband. The captain sneered, "I gave her 10 shillings, I kept the other 90, and the letter proves I'm honest." Malka says, "It only proves you're a greedy man, which is almost as bad." The captain shouted, "It's not my fault your husband is a fool." And Malka grew angry and shouted back, "My husband is no fool. He would never let you cheat me." When some people get angry, they feel too upset to think. But when Malka got angry, she thought even harder. She read that letter a second time, and then a third, and suddenly she understood what her husband's words really meant. She asked the captain, "Are you saying that you want 90 of those 100 shillings?" "Yes," said the captain. Malka lowered her head so he could not see her smile, and she asked quietly, "Please write it down in black and white." The captain wrote, "I want 90 shillings. Signed his name. "Good," said Malka. "Now give me 90 shillings. "What? What do you mean?" he asked. "Read my letters from my husband, it says that you shall give me what you want. And you say in your letter that what you want is 90 shillings. So, you must give me 90 shillings. It's written down in black and white. The captain read and reread both letters. He yelled and stamped his feet, but finally he gave Malka the 90 shillings. And then he stormed out of town and off to sea, never to return. Malka and her children took the money home, and she immediately wrote to her husband, saying how clever he was. The children also wrote to him, saying how clever their mother was. And in the next letter they received from him, he wrote, saying that they were all clever, and that he was coming home on the next boat. So did you get it? Let's read it again. The captain agrees to deliver a box with 100 shillings to my wife. He will give her what he wants, and he will keep the rest. It's not how you heard it the first time, though, is it? All right, so enjoy. And whenever you have a good idea, write it down. Write a story. You never know. One day somebody might be reading it.